Hey, this is Frank Nieto with Vision Quest Auto. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2025 Lexus RZ, and for those of you who don't know, this is an electric SUV. The interesting thing about it being electric isn't just the fact that it's electric. The real interesting part about that is that it is a Lexus electric SUV. And there's been some controversy about Toyota Lexus not really supporting electric cars. They're more all in on hybrids with a little bit of offerings of electric vehicles. So we're going to see how this compares to everything else. Does, Lexus fall short in the game, in the electric game, or do they match up really well? We're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss what we like about this. We're going to discuss how it drives. So let's get to it. So here is the Lexus RZ, and in first glance this just looks like a regular Lexus, which is great if you like the styling. It looks just like a Lexus. It doesn't look like an EV until you get to here, where you see that it's just a blacked out grille. It has that aerodynamics going in that you see in EVs for obvious purposes, but it still has the Lexus headlights that are very distinctive. It's got this new two-tone look that Toyota's been doing more and more lately, bringing it over to Lexus. It started with the crown, and it carries over here with this copper and black look, which is very distinctive and I think really cool, actually. I don't know if I would actually do this. I don't know if that's my particular style, but I do really like it, so maybe it is my style. Really nice wheels. That Lexus, look at that. I pulled it up perfectly. Look at the Lexus logo there. Perfect. Charging port is right here on the front driver's side. I really like this rear tail light. This is dope. Like, look at that little touches. This is really cool. I like how Lexus has the name now spelled out right there. Looks really cool, I think. This is four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive with the direct 4. So 450e. I'm gonna lift this up, show you a good amount of storage space. This is pretty comparable, I think, with the RAV4 NX. A little bit smaller, but it compares pretty well. It's a good amount of space. We've had sports equipment back here this week and everything. No issues fitting stuff in. Easily accessible, and a pretty deep pocket down there. That's for your charging cable at home, and you can also stuff some other stuff in here. So really nice. I'm gonna come back up around here, just showing you the other side again. See, I didn't get the Lexus logo right there when I parked, and didn't get it over here either. But it's got this cool blacked out thing. It's all over the place, so really nice. I do want to mention, I'm not going to pop it just because it's kind of pointless, but there is no frunk on this car. It's really a little disappointing, but it is what it is. It seems like only the pure EV manufacturers tend to really put that in, or if they're putting them in trucks. Just gonna show you here, really nice materials quality. This isn't the most expensive Lexus, but it's also not the cheapest. Comes in, you can get this around a little under 50,000. Obviously, you start going up, you start adding stuff, it gets, the price goes up about pretty quickly. One thing I also want to mention is Lexus's door handles. They're like electronic. You have to push this in, wait for that click. I've had a couple people couldn't quite figure it out, but it's not too hard to figure out, but maybe it is. Anyway, really nice, like suede feel here. I don't know if this is actual suede or if it's a suede like, but it feels really nice and it looks like suede, so I'm gonna just go, it's suede. Really nice leather steering wheel, great feel. I mean, it just feels substantial like Lexus, Toyota does. It's really got a nice feel, nice touch. Turns great, awesome. Another thing I want to mention here is this is a weird shifter, but I'm not gonna ding it because I kind of like it despite it. So what you do is you got to push this down. I'm not going to do it, but you push this down and you slide it over, and that would put you in reverse. Push it down, slide it over, that puts you into drive. Just straight down, puts you into neutral, and you hit that button to park. Really easy, not in the way this little thing keeps you from accidentally putting into gear, you know, or switching gears when you're driving. So it's really good, really nice. So if you can't make a real shifter, this is a great compromise. Charging, you know, the wireless charging pad is really nice. I've not had my phone slip off. Great job, Toyota Lexus. You've got your 3 USB-C chargers. You've also got your parking assist there and your 360 camera access, which actually this, when you hit it, doesn't bring up the 360 camera. It actually brings up like rear. It's kind of weird. Power button right there to start it up. And, you know, got under storage right under here. And this is a really nice pad too. You know, it kind of keeps things from moving around like that. Good job, Lexus. As usual, you've got your pretty deep center console, and with usual flips both sides. Always really dig that Lexus does that. And seats extremely comfortable, extremely comfortable, and they've got that blue suede feel. So a little bit of Elvis for you. Let's get into the back here. You know, good amount of space. You know, the materials quality carries over. Again, that blue suede carries over here. Yeah, you know, nice armrest, and still carrying that materials over. Really nice touch. Not many people would do this. Not many companies would do this. A lot of companies would cut corners and they'd make this plastic, or they put a different type of materials in there. Lexus kept the suede, that suede-like material, or if it is. 2 USB charging ports. Also got your household style power plug there. That's nice. And heated seats as well. So really good job. Like, and even these, I'm not hating them. I don't know what they're there for. They kind of give some weird Batman vibe, but they look kind of cool. All right, getting back in here. The thing I am a really big fan of is this. See, look at this. It doesn't have a sunroof that actually opens, but it's got this fogged one. But then watch this. You push this button right here, and it's immediately clear. Like, I know that that's on the camera, you can't quite see how crystal clear this is, but it's really nice, and it's a cool technology. I mean, look at this. You push the button again, and it's out. So really cool that they can do that. I mean, I'm impressed. It's a gimmick, but it actually seems like a gimmick that's very useful and very helpful. So I actually really enjoy that. You know, it's something that it takes away extra parts. Now it is an electronic part, but it takes away having to have that, you know, shade that goes back that can break. I've had that happen before. So very nice. You know, Toyota Lexus likes to include your sunglass holders. That's cool. Now comes the John Cena You Can't See Me award. And this is a real John Cena heel turn. There is no glove box. And it's just the strangest thing. I you know, except for like, you know, cars that aren't really made to be driven on the road, I've never seen this before. No glove box is just a weird thing. Now, like I said, there's storage, there is extra space, you know, underneath there, and there, you know, the glove box, the center console is pretty deep, but it is a disappointment that there's no glove box. It's weird. And I know that that's just to take up, you know, space. Toyota did it for a reason, or Lexus did it for a reason, but still doesn't make it any less weird and hard to take. Now, getting back to the positives, we have this infotainment system, which is really nice. I mean, it's got a big screen. You can tell we've got, you know, Android Auto running here. You know, you've got these always on touch, so you can, you know, heated steering wheel, cooled seats, heated seats, seating adjustments, you know, your Android Auto sidewires here. This actually pops you right back in to the main one, which is a nice thing. Really cool. And I don't know if that little button down is an Android Auto feature, or if it's something that Lexus put in, but I like it a lot. Your sync button here for the climates, your climate control more. Just really, you know, always on touch stuff. Your dial here for your temperatures, nice, it's a physical one. You know, this is your front defroster, this is your rear and side view mirror defroster, your volume knob. So it's a really good combination of touch screen and physical controls. And unlike a Tesla, you can actually control your vents with physical controls. As you can see, I'm at 64%, and that is 125 miles. If you can do the math, that's far less than 300-mile all-electric range. Obviously, this is only electric, but I still say all-electric. Anyway, this is far less than 300-mile range, which is kind of the standard for the EV industry. You know, 300 miles just seems to be that sweet spot that most people are looking for. But I'm going to say this too, that very few people get down to on a regular basis. So that brings us to a question of how are you going to use this car? And that affects whether you should buy this car. If you're going to be driving this car long distances on a regular basis, one, you might not want to get an EV, but if you are, you probably want to get, not probably, you will almost certainly want to get something with a bit more range, just so that you don't have to stop and charge as much. That said, it's a lot of driving to put 300 plus miles in a day on a regular basis. But if you are doing that, I'd also say, you know, get something that has a supercharger network. The great thing is that more auto manufacturers are switching over to that NACS, North American Charging Standard, which is with the Tesla supercharger network. So if you don't like Tesla, you don't want to buy a Tesla, you can still use their network more and more. Your daily drive is less than 300 miles, or, you know, 200 miles or less. This is a fine car. I don't think that you're really looking at anything that's going to mess you up on that regard. If you're looking for an EV that is a really good luxury vehicle, I mean, the build quality of this car is top notch, just top notch. Everything feels great. Everything looks great. Everything is extremely comfortable. This is a Lexus. So you would expect that. And you get that. So if that's what you're looking for, highly recommend it. All right, so the first thing you notice when you drive the Lexus RZ here is how quiet this is. And now, every EV is quiet, but this one is super, super quiet. And a big part of that is just the build quality of Lexus's, of this Lexus in particular. Its sound deadening is amazing. And that carries over to the smooth ride. Like, you don't really feel any imperfections in the road. Looking for a car with the smoothest and quietest ride. If this isn't your top choices, if this isn't number one, this is definitely in the top 3 to 5. Like, it's really, really does both of those well. Handling is very good. I wouldn't say it's, you know, a Corvette, but you wouldn't expect it to be. But it's not, you know, but it's actually better handling than I was expecting, to be honest. So that's impressive. There's a lot that I just really, really like about this car. And I would say that, like, this is an easy car to recommend, except for the caveats of the range issue, which is more range anxiety, to be honest. You know, 200 miles, 220 miles is probably enough for most people. But I get it if you don't want that, and I get it if you're worried about that. Like, I don't know if I wouldn't be worried. If I'm looking at an EV, I'm kind of like, I want that 300-mile range too. That just seems to be the sweet spot. So, you know, maybe I get that. And if you really want the glove box, you really want a frunk, obviously this car isn't for you. But if you can get past those things, and if the smooth ride, the luxury feel, and the quietness are really what you're looking for, I mean, this is right there for you. So that concludes our review for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can just put the questions right here in the YouTube comments. For Vision Quest Auto, this is Frank Nieto, and I'll catch you around.